Gonna walk through our gardens here on this Sunday morning, and it's definitely a different atmosphere here in the morning. Still there's dewdrops on the plants and bees buzzing around, lots of bird activity, and you don't really get all of that again until kind of later in the day. So let's go take a look. We'll start over here with the small raised beds off of the garden room, which we got good use out of last night. Lots of good stuff in here. So Casey planted lots of millet in here. That way, when we're sitting in here, we can enjoy the golden finches. Here's Casey. She'll have a prime view of those finches. There's our buttered popcorn plant. I don't remember the name of this one, but Cassius. It smells like buttered popcorn. The leaves and the flowers. It's a pretty cool, and it looks cool too. Here's our beans in the front here. Always love picking those green beans to eat. And look at these beauties. I don't know if the camera's gonna capture the true color here. So the purple, taller ones are larkspur. And then the blue is delphinium. They're definitely eye-catching when you walk by this area. So the larkspur is easy to seed. It can pop up in random places, but it can be poisonous. So if you have dogs that like to go around and eat some of the things in your garden, you may want to avoid the larkspur. But yeah, everything is definitely coming into its own here. So the tall grasses, those are lemongrass, and those were from last year. Casey kept those, wintered them over in the greenhouse, and here we are. So they had a nice head start. So the purple leaf in the front, that is dark opal basil. That was the one of the most popular plants that were sold on our store Manor House Market this year. This canna, called Toucan Coral, this is a new canna by Proven Winner. Look at how beautiful that is. The flower is just, wow. Casey said she's got some in the front window boxes as well. That's definitely a beautiful, just the flower on there. I love how full it is. It's almost like a combination of 1, 2, 3 flowers there, but yeah, look at that. So you all probably have seen, well, not everybody, if you're new to the channel you probably haven't, but this is our science shed area, and I'll give you a little clip inside there. But I do love the window box. This is just a small window box. It's probably, 8 inches deep, but I love that combination there. Really turned out nice. So the bookends and these beautiful flowers, these are called African Phlox. Those are a new trial flower by Proven Winner. So we're trying those ones out, and so far so good. They really shape up the ends of the box, and they trail nicely. They look great. It's just a really good look, and you don't need to have a huge window box to make it look pretty. The petunias are all saved seed from last year. And then if you look closely too, look at we've got eucalyptus starting to pop out of here. That's always a cool touch in these window boxes, because those are going to get nice and tall and kind of stick out and add a whole nother cool layer of texture there. Backing up and checking out the science shed, and it's got its own little deck area. It's kind of not attached to, but right off of the bunny enclosure area. We've got another little planter over here. So let's take a little glimpse into the the science shed here for those of you who haven't seen the science shed before. Kids like to come in here and hang out, and sometimes they'll sit at the desk here and do little projects. They bring their dirty treasures in here and explore them. Look, we've got got a microscope, the chart of butterflies, everything they need in here to just let their imaginations go wild and enjoy. And it's right in the middle of the garden. So to give you some perspective here, so you can see the science shed over there. You can see the garden room, so we can sit in that garden room and watch the kids run through the garden, run into the science shed, play in there. We've got the you can see the bunny enclosure, so when we're in the garden room there, and the garden room is you can see it's kind of lifted off of the ground, so you get a really nice view in there, so we can watch the bunnies, watch the kids play, and just have a view of the entire garden. So this is one of my favorite spots back here, and it is close to the garden room here, and even though we have the garden room a lot of times in the morning before the sun is full and bright, I like to sit there at that table, and not that there needs to be a table there, but just a chair, and I love the view from back there. And I'll do my my daily devotion, my breathing exercises back there. I do like the proximity to the bunnies, so early in the morning they're a little more active and kind of running around in there. All right, so this is the view that I love so much. I like that it's at the back edge of the garden, so you're basically, and before the garden room was there, and even now, so you can see through it, but I just love kind of sitting on the edge of the garden and being able to see everything that's going on. A lot of times the birds are kind of flying all over the place back here, and got the apple tree here. This is kind of our wild area over here. It does draw a lot of birds, especially right now. A lot of the golden finches are coming and eating the seeds from the wildflowers, and butterflies. We'll go over by the butterfly garden. We had lots of big monarch butterflies in here yesterday throughout the garden, just swooping around, and it was really cool.
And this is my favorite spot in the morning here in the garden room. I can see right into the kids' garden space, and can see the bunnies. And then I'm able to see Jason at his little table when he's over there. And I do love hanging in these chairs, but I love that we have a view out. And then a view out into the main garden here. And I can even look outside here to the yard.
Looked like there was going to be a bird fight over there. That's why our waterway attracts lots of birds, which is great. Obviously goes along with what we love here. So here are the beds that are closest to the garden room.
And they're still small because we had to wait to plant them.
Yeah, we had to wait to plant these because while the garden room was under construction, we had we just couldn't really do anything with them at that time. So they're a little behind, but in the long run, it definitely won't matter. They'll get caught back up to everything else, and they're already looking really, really good. Got corn back here, and this is ornamental corn. So we'll have some cool color combinations with the corn. And there's also some peas in here. But here we'll check out this.
So in there also are, if you want to read.
Also in this bed, we've got peppers. We've got So there's the pepper here. We've got eucalyptus. And then we've got statice. So the statice, the plant itself doesn't get tall, the flower does. The eucalyptus is a little bit of a slower grower, so it won't get overtaken. But it'll be really cool to have some small eucalyptus trees at the end of the summer and into the fall popping up out of here.
At the end of the season, what I do with those is I actually go through and just chop down all of the eucalyptus. So any eucalyptus that's growing in our gardens or window boxes or containers or anything like that, I cut them down, because then those are what's used for making and creating products. And we do have like hundreds of other plants, which Jason will show you. But that's what they're planted for in the garden, is for strictly just cutting at the end of the season. We're not digging them up and bumping those up. We already have a lot of extras. So these are just specifically for end of season harvest.
Just a quick little thing on the apple tree here. So last year we had 3 apples. This year there's going to be lots and lots of apples, and they're starting to get their little shade of red. They all look really good, and there are a lot of them on here, so that's gonna be fun. So we did plant another one this year close by. This is a Honeycrisp, so we'll have a Honeycrisp and a Gala, and this one is doing pretty well here. So natural mulch here with oregano and thyme, and you can see it's definitely held the weeds out. It looks cool. It holds moisture, and they return every year. So it's a cool alternative to just mulching around the tree, and it'll pull in a lot of pollinators when they're in blossom to help pollinate the tree. So we planted it up because this is a low and wet area back here. So the top of the root ball is, you know, kind of at the top of the rock level here. So it's almost like we built up the area with stone, filled it in with dirt, and we because this is a wet area, you don't want it to constantly, you know, the roots to constantly be wet. So it's nice to raise the tree out of the ground depending on where you're planting it. Put some good soil in there, and this will allow the water to drain down and through and get away from the roots so that the tree will grow nicely. So we've put a couple different trees here and they've died because they weren't built up like that. Again, if the tree is wet all the time, it can't breathe, doesn't get oxygen, and that will kill the tree just as much as not watering it. The Gala apple over here took a while to take off because we didn't have that one raised out of the ground. It did end up making it, and it's doing well now, but this is the way to go here, especially in lower and wet areas. So now we're over here along the other side, the south side of the garden room, closest to the greenhouse. Take a look at our boxes over here and our butterfly garden. So we've got more beds over here planted along the side.
It's got our basils and lemongrass.
So we got the dark opal basil again here. We've got lemongrasses. So there's a lot of herbs that are planted. That is for cutting and creating things. So the sprays, the hydrosol sprays, the lemongrass is definitely a popular one. So that is all harvested and used for that.
And for oils and for salves, and we're going into like making our own soaps and things like that.
All right, so the butterfly garden, it's kind of a little more of a wild area. You can see all of the milkweed in here, and there was just I will say like a batch of caterpillars that hatched into monarch butterflies. But a week or so ago, if you looked on the milkweed here, you'd see those caterpillars on here. Right now, you just got a bunch of different bugs. I see some ladybugs on here and bees flying through here. But soon enough, you'll see caterpillars again. And like I said yesterday, we had monarch butterflies. There were 3 or 4 of them that were flying through the garden together, and they were so big. You could tell that they had just hatched. They were in their prime. They were just really big and colorful, and we'll see if we can capture one of those on film here. It may not be the easiest to see because the sun is kind of coming into us here, but here's our original garden area here with the 8 raised beds kind of behind the taller birch trees there. And we had added these four beds here. We've got sweetgrass growing in the far one, and then we've got rosemary in this one here. The sweetgrass comes back on its own, so does the rosemary. And we've got raspberries over in this one. So we're gonna kind of just walk up the aisle here. These beds have gotten huge, and there's our loyal companion, Fuzzy. Hey, Fuzzy. She loves to roll in the stone. So look at this. These beds just look amazing up here. You can see there's lots of hoses running around in here. So there are soaker hoses, probably about 75-foot soaker hoses in each one of these beds that kind of snake up and down to hit every plant. And then there are hoses connected to every bed, so we can just flip a switch and all the beds water at once. It's great. Look at all of the pink salvia here. Had hummingbirds on here last night. I love what Casey did with the end caps of all of the raised beds she did. She did different types of flowering kale. Casey will go into names of varieties and get more specific, but here this one's catching my eye here. Lots of cool stuff here. So we've got the zinnias, and these are a new type of zinnia, right? The chrysanthemum zinnia, I believe. Look at that flower though. Oh, I can just hear the honeybees on the salvia here. Let's see if we can find a little guy at work here. Here we go. That's what it's all about. You can see we've got some Purple Majesty millet coming out of the middle there. Lots of cool stuff here. This is a great view right here. I see a butterfly in the butterfly garden. We're gonna go over there, see what it is. I don't think it's a monarch. Oh, there it is. Actually, it is a monarch. It's not super vibrant, wasn't super vibrant orange, but it was a monarch. So here's what I was talking about with the end caps and how she kind of does something different at the end here. So this looks beautiful here. Look at, we got some snapdragons popping through the middle of the boards down there. We've got lots of calendula, which, by the way, Casey created a calendula oil. It's a beneficial plant here. And Lana had a little bit of a rash on her stomach yesterday, and we applied the calendula oil. So the calendula oil actually helped her rash, and it took away the itching that she had with it. So some big snapdragons back in that bed back there. Yeah, these ones are looking really nice right now. There's the kale again. Got a helpful little friend here. So this year we've got one of our tables, and we've got it up against the raised bed here. It looks really cool. It's kind of almost like an extension off of it, but it we've always kind of had this open space here that not really quite sure exactly what to do there, so we said, let's put a table there. And we've got the Purple Majesty millet in this one, so I'm sure you'll get some bird activity in here. So this is all herb in here, aside from the sunflowers and the snapdragons, but everything in here just comes back by itself. We're getting to a point with certain beds where we want things to return, and we don't want to have as much maintenance. And so with some of these raised beds, we would like them to just, kind of do their own thing. All right, we've got some bumblebee action here. This is probably my favorite end cap. Just loving that combination of texture and color. Got some sunflowers there. A closeout view here. Look at that sea of green goodness. Oh, this is what I love. Well, that's going to do it. Thanks so much for watching. If you don't subscribe, please do so. Click the little bell for notifications to see more videos like this. Take care.